Let's take a look at today's back pages, and Olivia Buzaglo is with us. Hi, Olivia.
Hello, how are you both?
Excellent, thanks. How are you? How's your weekend?
Yeah, it was lovely. Do you know, I had Saturday off and I worked Sunday, and I've decided I don't like working Sundays.
Prefer Saturday?
I prefer working Saturdays and having Sunday doing nothing and sat on the sofa.
Yeah.
I didn't get back until 6 p.m. and I didn't like it.
Right.
Working a Sunday's not for me.
No.
Let's take a look at the back pages then. We're not going to go too much into Oliver Glasner and Thomas Frank, but as you can imagine, Frank on the brink is the back page of the Sun, and all hands on deck at Palace. The same as the Star, Frank fight Oliver twist. The back of the Express, Frank in trouble, and Olive branch. Jeff, were you surprised that Palace are maybe backing Oliver Glasner after his comments?
Yes, I am. Yeah. You know, I thought it was inevitable he would be leaving after his comments when he said the club had abandoned them. You know, which is a strong enough thing to say. But hey, hang on a second. You just told everybody you're not staying, you know? So I thought he was criticising from a pretty weak position.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank fight to save his job on the back page of the Mirror, and Glasner in peace talks with Palace. So those stories are dominating the back pages. But what I really want to talk about is the AFCON final. On the back page of the Times, AFCON descends into total anarchy. I could not believe when I woke up this morning to see everything that had happened in the AFCON final. One of the wildest finals you'll probably ever see. Let's just first of all, before I get Jeff and Ali's opinion on it and everything that happened, Alistair Howarth was there, and he's told us a little bit about what happened after everything happened.
There was a lot of tension in the media box. There was a couple guys who got into a scrap. One guy threw a bottle at another journalist who was almost taunting the Moroccan journalists. And then in the press conferences just now, we had Walid Regragui, the Moroccan head coaches. But then as he was leaving and Pat Shaw was coming in, the Senegalese head coach, as he was walking with his daughter. And as the Moroccan press pack was leaving, because they weren't staying for his press conference, they kind of sarcastically clapped at him. That set off the Senegalese journalists, who were obviously furious with that. And again, a bit of a fracas again spilled out between the journalists, and so they ended up actually cancelling his press conference.
Yeah, absolute chaos from the moment that the Senegal had that goal disallowed until quite clearly after when the press conferences were happening. Okay, Jeff and Ali, Jeff, I'll come to you first. Just want to get your thoughts on everything that happened from the goal, from Morocco being awarded a penalty, from the Senegal manager taking his players off the pitch, the Panenka that was missed, and everything that's followed after that.
Well, I mean, I think the big question here is, look, the refereeing standards have been appalling during the entire tournament. And, you know, to say the decisions that Senegal were upset by were poor is an understatement. But you cannot accept a team being taken off the pitch under any circumstances. Any circumstances. What sort of precedent does it set? Are they going to do the same this summer during the World Cup? Coisty, I don't know about you. Yeah, it was dramatic. It was amazing.
Shambles.
Things. There should be some sanctions against Senegal. There have to be some sanctions against Senegal. And, you know, Brahim Diaz is getting pelters. How long has he had to wait to take that penalty? I know it was a ludicrous thing
20
to
minutes.
do. But you know, it just can't be allowed to happen. I don't know what sanctions, because, you know, the game is over, done and dusted, and they got the trophy. But it was an absolute disgrace,
Shambles, there's no excuse for it.
Apart from Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
Who absolutely covered himself in glory.
Yeah.
He really did. And, you know, I heard one of the lads saying, I think it was one of the news reports there, that he probably saved the whole situation. Yeah. I don't think it's maybe too far to say that he might have just done that, Jeff. Yeah. But getting back to the point, yes, you're right. You cannot leave the pitch. The only time you can leave the pitch if it's safety reasons or whatever it may be. You cannot do that. And they were victim to some poor, really poor decisions from the officials. But you can't do it, mate.
No.
Walked off the pitch for 17 minutes. It was just an absolute shambles, mate. Absolute shambles. And the whole thing, I mean, to be honest, I don't know where you are with Jeff. I agree with you. Something has to be done. There has to be some form of punishment. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it will be. But something has to be done. But Sadio Mane, I mean, it's a laughing stock. Just about finished the whole tournament for me. It's probably just been saved, but just saved and no more by the antics. Senegal leaving the pitch, man. Absolute shambles. It really was.
Yeah, it does. It devalues the whole tournament, you know. And it's Senegal have probably been the best team throughout the course of the tournament. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen anything like. I would hope, look. I know my phone was going crazy with people saying, "Are you watching this? Are you watching this? Are you watching this?" And yeah, it was because it was so unusual, something you'd never seen before. You know, I was glued to my TV screens like everyone else, but in the cold light of day, you have to think it was just disgraceful.
It absolutely was. The whole thing was a complete mess. Ali, Brahim Diaz's penalty. What did you make of the attempted Panenka?
All of it, it's really simple, and I've said it for as long as anybody can remind me. You only get away with that if you score, and that's it in a nutshell. If you don't score, it looks diabolical. Diabolical. If you score, you get away with it, and everybody says, "Well, look at that. That was fantastic and great." I'm not a fan of it at all. You know, it's just I wouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? Because of the opportunity. See what happened last night. I mean, he'll live with that now for the rest of his life. There's no doubt about it. Just go up, put your foot through it. If he saves it, great. That's one of these things. If you score, fantastic. It just looks absolutely shocking. And I'll repeat it. It's an obvious thing to say. You only get away with that if you score.
Yeah, but he had, as I say, 20 minutes to think about what he was going to do, and God knows what was going through his mind. Lee says, I think Senegal had to do something to highlight the crooked activities that took place with the officiating. It wasn't Morocco's first rodeo for benefiting from hometown decisions in this tournament. And I get that, Lee, but, you know, you simply cannot.
The game's bigger than that.
You cannot, take the team off the pitch, you know, at any stage. And if you do, to be honest, I think you should forfeit the match, you know.
Do you think there's is this something that should happen after? Because obviously they weren't happy with both decisions, the disallowed goal and the penalty.
And rightly so, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, you know, somebody else, look, Danny's texted here and said, Jeff, maybe Unai Emery should have taken our players off when James Garner pushed over Morgan Rogers and should have got his second yellow card. You're absolutely right, Danny. I mean, it was one of the clearest fouls I have ever seen in the history of clear fouls.
However,
you know, but you know, you have to get on with it, no matter what your sense of injustice is. Olivia, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
Very
Olivia.
welcome.